For more, I'm now joined by the head of the White House's UAP Science Advisory Council, Avi Loeb, renowned theoretical physicist and Harvard professor. Always good to see you, sir. Welcome back. Let's dive into the new information. There appears to be a pattern now of UFO sightings, not just around military sites, but also nuclear sites, including a 2015 sighting over a nuclear arms facility in Amarillo, Texas. Radar and armed patrols detected a, quote, diamond-shaped unidentified object hovering in a non-threatening manner. There seems to be serious national security concerns here, right, Professor?
Thanks for having me. Yes, indeed. The down-to-earth interpretation would be to say these are objects manufactured by adversarial nations and they concentrate around strategic assets for a good reason. They're spying on them. But we don't know that. And in fact, the release of the files implies that the Pentagon or the intelligence agencies are not confident that these are human-made objects. And that's part of the reason why they approach scientists like myself. And, I'm not particularly interested in the context or what kind of instruments were used. All we need to know is whether these objects are truly not human-made. That's the fundamental question. And for that, we need better evidence than the one that was released so far. But it's clear that it's a serious matter because the very best scientists, physicists, were dealing with that already in 1949. And that's a long time ago. And now, hopefully, the partnership between science and the government would lead to a resolution of what we are looking at.
Professor, you and I have talked about the previous batches of files released. This is the fourth batch released from our government. What stood out to you?
Well, there are two videos showing strange objects. One of them changes direction by 90 degrees, turns into a very flat shape. Another video shows a formation of a group of objects that move together in a very unusual way. It's really difficult to tell how unusual it is without more data. So either we hope that the US government has such high quality data that we haven't seen as of yet, and we're encouraging the government to release it. So in fact, we submitted 50 items of information requested from the Pentagon or the intelligence agencies, from the council that I'm leading, and much of the data cannot be shared with us because it was taken by classified sensors, but we hope to get at least some of it so that we can analyze it. And it's enough to have one object that does not behave according to what we expect from human-made technologies, for this to be the biggest discovery ever made. So I very much hope that we will get to that point. We'll be transparent with the public if we make analysis and we have findings that indicate something like that.
Again, you were designated from the White House. Since the UAP was created, the Advisory Science Council, have you gotten any information, any data from our government?
Well, we are waiting for that. We placed some requests and we are waiting to hear back. And obviously, the quality of our deliberations would reflect the quality of the data we get. Now, even if the data is not good enough, we can suggest sensors that would allow the government to obtain better data. It's like a detective story, and we need the clues that would allow us to close in on the nature of these objects. And the fact that the US government consults with scientists like myself, I think, implies that the answer is not known. It's definitely not clear whether we're dealing with human-made objects.
In this latest release from the Pentagon, we're still seeing critical information being redacted. Do we know why that is, Professor?
Yeah, because that information is of national security importance. It may suggest the type of sensors that were used, the location, and so that's why it's being held under wraps. The other thing that I should say is that the data that was released is a mixed bag. You know, there are definitely some objects that have mundane explanations. For example, the NASA images that show objects seen through the Space Shuttle window. These are probably related to space trash. You know, we know of 40,000 fragments from satellites that were broken down orbiting the Earth. So only if one object shows deviation from what we expect from gravity binding it to the Earth, then we might be curious about it. But most of those are probably just broken pieces of satellites. So I would say it's a mixed bag. We have to judge each case by its own merit.
I have to say, I keep watching the video as we're talking. Completely fascinating. I look forward to having you on again to discuss. Professor Avi Loeb, thank you again.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.